Welcome to 360 Book Wisdom. I'm glad you're here. Today we are going to break down Atomic Habits by James Clear. Before we begin, let me ask you something simple. Have you ever felt that you're trying hard, but your life isn't changing? You set goals. You make plans. You promise yourself that this time things will be different. And yet, the days pass, weeks pass, and you find yourself in the same place. If that sounds familiar, this audiobook is for you. Life doesn't change overnight. And that's not a weakness, it's a law. Real change happens quietly, invisibly, through the smallest actions repeated daily. And that is the powerful idea behind this book, Atomic Habits. The word atomic doesn't mean something complicated. It means small, almost invisible, but powerful enough to create massive change over time. An atomic habit is a tiny behavior, so small that it feels insignificant. But when repeated every day, it begins to shape your life, your results, and even your identity. This book is built on a simple idea. If you can get just 1% better every day, your life will be completely different in a year. Not because of one big breakthrough, not because of motivation or willpower, but because small habits compound, just like interest. At first, you don't see the results. Progress feels slow. Sometimes it feels like nothing is happening at all. But beneath the surface, something is changing. Your habits are forming patterns. And those patterns are shaping who you become. One of the most important lessons in this book is the difference between goals and systems. Goals are about results. Systems are about the process. Goals tell you where you want to go. Systems determine whether you actually get there. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And this audiobook will help you build systems that work with you, not against you. By staying with this audiobook till the end, you'll learn why motivation is unreliable, but habits are not. How to design your environment so good habits become natural. Why identity matters more than discipline. And how tiny daily actions quietly create extraordinary lives. This is not a book about forcing change. It's about designing change. It's about becoming the kind of person for whom success, consistency, and growth feel normal. As you listen, remember this. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need massive effort. You only need to start small and stay consistent. Because every habit you build is a vote for the person you are becoming. Let's begin this journey together. Welcome to Atomic Habits. The fundamentals. Before we dive into the practical steps, it's important to understand why small habits matter more than big goals. Because without this foundation, any habit you try to build will feel like a struggle. Think about this. We often focus on the big picture, losing 20 pounds, getting a promotion, writing a book. And yet, somehow, those big goals rarely lead to lasting change. Why? Because life doesn't work in leaps and bounds. It works in increments. It works in tiny, almost invisible actions that compound over time. Power of compounding. Let's talk about compounding. You know how money can grow in a bank account thanks to interest. Habits work the same way. A tiny action done consistently, even if it seems meaningless today, multiplies over weeks, months, and years. Skipping one workout, one day of writing, or one morning meditation might feel insignificant. But the reverse is true as well. Doing one positive action consistently feels small at first, but over time, it adds up to something extraordinary. This is the hidden power behind every atomic habit. Small improvements compound silently until they become massive results. Plateau of Latent Potential. Here's the tricky part. When you start a new habit, you often see no immediate results. This is called the Plateau of Latent Potential. It's the invisible progress that hasn't yet manifested. It's easy to get discouraged and quit because change seems slow or invisible. But remember, the most important changes happen quietly. The moment when you feel it working might be weeks or months later, but all that time, your habits are shaping your life behind the scenes. Why habits fail? So why do so many habits fail? It's rarely because we lack motivation. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. Habits fail because we lack systems, the processes that make small actions easy, obvious, and satisfying. We focus on outcomes, not the repeatable steps that actually create results. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. This is the most important principle to internalize before moving forward. The habit loop. Now, let's understand how habits actually work. Every habit is a cycle, a loop with 4 steps. 1. Cue, a trigger that tells your brain to start a behavior. 2. Craving, the desire or motivation that makes you act. 3. Response, the actual action you take. 4. Reward, the positive feedback that makes your brain remember this loop for next time. For example, you walk into the kitchen, cue, feel a craving for a snack, craving, grab a cookie, response, and enjoy the taste, reward. Your brain files this as good experience, making it more likely you repeat the behavior in the future. The beauty and the challenge is that this loop works for both good and bad habits. So the goal is to design the loops in your favor, not against you. Reflective pause. Take a moment to absorb this. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. This is the foundation of everything in atomic habits. It's not about motivation, willpower, or lucky breaks. It's about the invisible architecture of your daily life. Every habit, no matter how small, is a vote for the person you want to become. And this is just the beginning. Once you understand these fundamentals, you'll be ready to build habits that actually stick, rather than struggle against yourself. First law, make it obvious. Now that you understand how habits work and why systems matter more than goals, let's begin with the first law of behavior change. Make it obvious. Every habit starts with awareness. You cannot change a habit you do not notice. Most of our daily behaviors happen on autopilot. We don't choose them consciously, we repeat them unconsciously. You brush your teeth without thinking. You check your phone without realizing. You snack without asking why. Habits follow what is visible, not what is important. The power of awareness. Before a habit can be changed, it must be seen. This is why so many people fail, not because they lack discipline, but because their habits are invisible to them. The first step is to bring your habits into the light. Ask yourself, what triggers this behavior? When does it happen? Where does it begin? When a cue becomes obvious, the habit becomes manageable. Environment shapes behavior. Here's a powerful truth. We don't choose our habits. We inherit them from our environment. If junk food is on the table, you'll eat it. If your phone is beside your bed, you'll scroll. If a book is within reach, you're more likely to read. Willpower is weak. Environment is strong. That's why the first law focuses on design, not discipline. If you want a habit to stick, make the cue visible. Make the behavior easy to start. Remove friction, not add motivation. Habit stacking. One of the simplest ways to make habits obvious is something called habit stacking. You attach a new habit to an existing one. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will meditate for 1 minute. After I pour my morning coffee, I will read 1 page. After I sit at my desk, I will write 1 sentence. Existing habits act as reminders. They pull new habits into your routine naturally. No alarms. No pressure. Just flow. Reflective pause. Pause for a moment and reflect. What habits in your life are already obvious, but not intentional? What cues are shaping your behavior without your permission? When you make habits obvious, you stop fighting yourself and start working with your nature. And once a habit is obvious, the next step is to make it irresistible. Second law, make it attractive. By now, you understand that small habits compound over time and that the first law is about making habits obvious. Now, we move to something equally powerful, desire. Here's the truth. Motivation alone is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. If you rely on willpower alone, you'll find it fading when you need it most. Instead, habits stick when they are attractive, when your brain wants to do them. Motivation comes from desire, not discipline. Dopamine and habits. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure. When an action promises a reward, dopamine spikes, creating desire. This is why we scroll social media endlessly or reach for snacks automatically. But the same principle works for good habits. If we make a healthy action attractive, our brain wants to repeat it. For example, exercising alone might feel like a chore. But if you pair it with something enjoyable, like listening to your favorite podcast, suddenly the habit becomes attractive. This is where temptation bundling comes in. Temptation bundling. Temptation bundling is the simple but powerful idea of pairing something you want to do with something you need to do. You want to watch your favorite show? Only allow it while exercising. You want to scroll Instagram? Only allow it after completing a productive task. By linking pleasure to progress, you hack your brain into enjoying habits that were once boring or difficult. Power of social groups. Humans are social creatures. We imitate what we see in the people around us. If you want to pick up a habit, surround yourself with people who already have it. Want to read more? Join a book club. Want to exercise consistently? Train with friends who push themselves. The people around you don't just influence your behavior, they shape your identity. And that leads to the next point, culture and identity. Culture and identity influence behavior. We often underestimate how culture affects our choices. The norms, habits, and behaviors of your group create invisible forces. When a behavior is normal in your environment, it becomes easy to adopt. When it's rare, you have to fight an uphill battle. That's why communities, mentors, and peer groups are so critical. They make positive habits feel natural, attractive, and effortless. Emotional reflection. Think about the people you admire. Your actions, habits, and routines often imitate theirs, whether consciously or unconsciously. We imitate habits of those we admire. This is the emotional power behind the second law. If you make habits attractive by pairing them with pleasure, surrounding yourself with positive influence, and aligning with the right culture, you don't have to force yourself. Your brain will want the habit. Remember, making a habit attractive is not about tricking yourself. It's about designing life so that the right behaviors feel natural, enjoyable, and rewarding. When desire aligns with action, consistency is effortless. And that's the secret to creating habits that last a lifetime. The third law of make it easy. By now, you've learned that small habits compound over time and that habits stick when they're obvious and attractive. Now, we focus on simplicity, the key to building consistency without relying on willpower or motivation. Here's the core idea: reduce friction, increase consistency. The easier a habit is to do, the more likely you are to repeat it, and the less mental energy it consumes. The 2-minute rule. One of the most practical tools for making habits easy is the 2-minute rule. The rule is simple. When starting a new habit, make it take less than 2 minutes to do. Want to read more? Start by reading 1 page. Want to exercise? Start with 2 push-ups. Want to meditate? Sit quietly for just 2 minutes. Starting small removes resistance. And remember, motion creates action. Once you begin, momentum builds naturally. Motion versus action. There's a difference between motion and action. Motion, preparing, planning, or researching. Action, the habit itself, the step that moves you toward results. Reading about exercising is motion. Doing the workout is action. Reading about writing is motion. Typing 1 paragraph is action. Too often, we confuse motion for progress. The key is to start the action, even if it's tiny. Small steps beat motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Some days, it simply won't show up. This is where small steps win over motivation. Small, simple, repeatable actions are consistent even on lazy days. A habit that fits your energy and schedule will stick even when life feels overwhelming. For example, instead of aiming for an hour-long workout every day, start with 5 minutes. Once the habit exists, you can expand naturally. Build habits that fit lazy days. Your environment should support easy habits. Keep healthy snacks visible and junk food out of reach. Place your workout clothes where you see them first thing in the morning. Make the first step of a habit so simple that you can't say no. The secret is that habits don't need effort, they need design. Reflective pause. Think about this. Success is not about effort, it's about design. If a habit is difficult, it won't last. If it's easy and enjoyable, it repeats automatically. The third law teaches us that consistency beats intensity and design beats brute force. Small, easy actions create massive change when repeated over time. As you move forward, remember, you don't need superhuman effort. You don't need extraordinary discipline. You need smart design, tiny steps, and systems that work with your natural tendencies. When your habits are easy, you'll find consistency effortless. And that's when real transformation begins. Fourth law, make it satisfying. So far, we've covered that habits need to be obvious, attractive, and easy. Now, we focus on what keeps habits alive over the long term: satisfaction. Here's the golden rule: what gets rewarded gets repeated. If a habit feels good, your brain wants to do it again. If it feels painful or boring, it's easy to quit. Immediate rewards. Humans are wired to repeat actions that feel good immediately. The brain values instant gratification. This is why so many bad habits, like scrolling social media or snacking, stick. They feel good right now. The trick with building good habits is to give yourself immediate rewards. Celebrate small wins. Treat yourself for completing a task. Make the habit itself enjoyable. For example, after finishing a workout, savor a favorite song or a cup of tea. The habit becomes associated with pleasure, not pain. Habit tracking. One of the simplest ways to make habits satisfying is tracking your progress. Use a calendar, app, or journal. Mark each day you successfully complete a habit. Seeing the chain of completed days grows a feeling of achievement. Each mark is a tiny reward, reinforcing the behavior. And once the chain begins, nobody wants to break it. Accountability. Another powerful tool is accountability. Tell a friend, partner, or mentor about your habit. Share your progress regularly. Knowing someone else is watching increases your follow-through. Accountability works because humans naturally respond to social reinforcement. It makes your habit socially satisfying, not just internally rewarding. Never miss twice. Even the strongest habits can be interrupted. Life happens. The rule is simple: never miss twice. One missed day is unavoidable. 2 missed days in a row, however, can break momentum. Use this as a reminder, get back on track immediately. Consistency, more than perfection, determines results. Reflective pause. Remember this as you build your habits. Progress feels slow, but it is never wasted. Every small win, every repeated action, is a step toward the life you want. Even when you don't see immediate results, change is happening beneath the surface. Satisfaction isn't just about feeling good, it's about creating lasting momentum. And once you master this, habits stick naturally, almost automatically. As you move forward, reward yourself for the right behaviors. Track your progress visibly. Lean on accountability. Never let one slip turn into a pattern. When habits are satisfying, they reinforce themselves. And that's when change becomes effortless, consistent, and lasting.
Advanced tactics, identity, and mastery. By now, you've learned the 4 laws of behavior change, making habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. But there's a deeper principle that ties everything together: identity. This is the part of the book that transforms habits from tasks into a reflection of who you are. Because the habits you practice don't just change your outcomes, they change you. Identity-based habits. Most people focus on results. I want to lose weight. I want to be rich. I want to be productive. But true change comes when you focus on who you wish to become. Every habit you perform is a vote for your identity. Reading 1 page of a book is a vote for I am a reader. Going for a short run is a vote for I am an active person. Small actions repeated over time solidify the identity you want to embrace. Who do you want to become? Ask yourself this. Who do I want to be? What kind of person takes the actions I admire? Your habits are the bridge between your current self and your future self. When your behaviors align with your identity, motivation becomes natural. You don't force yourself, you act in accordance with who you are. The Goldilocks rule. There's a rule for sustained engagement, the Goldilocks rule. Tasks that are not too hard, not too easy, but just right keep you in the sweet spot for growth. Too easy, and you get bored. Too hard, and you get discouraged. Just right challenges keep your skills improving without overwhelming you. This principle applies to every habit, from fitness to learning to creative work. Long-term mastery. Mastery isn't instant. It comes from consistent, deliberate practice over months and years. Small habits compound into skill, expertise, and confidence. Every repeated action builds momentum. Every tiny improvement shapes your long-term abilities. Recovering from failure. Even the most disciplined people slip up. It's inevitable. The key is to recover quickly. Never let one misstep define your progress. Recommit immediately. Remember, consistency over time matters far more than perfection in the moment. Reflective pause. Take a moment to internalize this. Every habit is a vote for the person you want to be. Your daily routines, repeated actions, and small choices are constantly shaping your identity. When you focus on becoming the type of person who naturally performs the habits you admire, success becomes effortless, and growth becomes inevitable. Identity is the deepest lesson of Atomic Habits. It shows that lasting change is not about willpower or motivation, it's about designing your life around the person you want to become. Every small step, every repeated action, every habit matters. And this is the principle that underlies all transformation. Quick summary. We've reached the final part of Atomic Habits, and it's time to reflect on what we've learned. Let's start with the core truth: habits compound. Tiny changes, repeated consistently over time, lead to remarkable outcomes. The small actions you take every day shape the trajectory of your life, often in ways you don't see immediately, but the effects are profound. Recap of the 4 laws. To make habits stick, remember the 4 laws. 1. Make it obvious, design your environment to trigger the right behaviors. 2. Make it attractive, pair habits with pleasure and align them with desire. 3. Make it easy, reduce friction and start small, small steps beat motivation. 4. Make it satisfying, reward yourself, track progress, and never miss twice. Together, these laws create a framework for building habits that are sustainable, effective, and even enjoyable. Identity over outcomes. The deepest lesson of the book is that lasting change comes from identity, not outcomes. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? Every habit is a vote for that version of yourself. When your actions reflect the person you aspire to be, consistency flows naturally, and results follow effortlessly. Small changes, remarkable life. Remember, transformation doesn't require huge leaps or extraordinary effort. It requires small, deliberate actions repeated over time. Every tiny habit, no matter how small, contributes to building a life of purpose, achievement, and fulfillment. Change is happening even when you don't see it. Trust the process, stay consistent, and the results will come. Thank you for taking this journey through Atomic Habits with me. If this wisdom added value to your life, you're always welcome at 360 Book Wisdom. Subscribe for more audiobooks that change how you think, inspire action, and help you design the life you've always wanted. Remember, your habits define you. Your choices shape your life. And every small step matters.